ओम जयति जगति मायां यस्य कायाधवस्ते वचन रचनमेकं केवलं चाकलय्य ध्रुवपदमपि यातो यत्कृपातो ध्रुवोऽयं सकलकुशलपात्रं ब्रह्मपुत्रं नतोऽस्मि. From Narada Bhakti Sutras, we have been able to study 18 sutras up till now, and as per the chapter and sections, first chapter, second section we are studying. The name of the first chapter is Bhakti Swarupam, and the first chapter, first section also has Bhakti Swarupam, and the second name is Bhakti Lakshanani. So having described in a very abstract manner, but in detail, of the nature of bhakti, on two sides of the nature of bhakti, that it is experienced as a supreme pull toward the innermost reality, and on the other side, it is an automatic check from all outgoing tendencies, and so cannot coexist with desires. In between, the real nature of bhakti is Amrita, and we have seen Amrita means nothing short of Advaita reality. It is the bliss which is not polluted, which does not end in misery, which is permanent. That is Amrita. And then what happens if we get that has also been described. And then we may not get confused that we have got it already. So some practical hints were given in the 12th, 13th and 14th Sutra. In between 9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 10, 11 were in detail about what is that check and what is the Tadvirodeshu Udasinata or wherever. And then Narada came outside a little, and how this expresses in life, how we can understand the devotion to God. For that the second section started, and first of all he told us, Lakshanani Vachante Nana Mataveda, that there will be various views so far as the Lakshanas go, because the minds are different. So, Parasharaputra Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas tells us, it is Anurag for God as expressed through actions like puja, etc. And then Shandilya tells us, it is expressed through actions like Kirtan and Shravan about God. Then, no, this was Garga. Garga told us it is like Kirtan and Shravan. And then Narada referred to Shandilya. He told us that this puja or Shravan or Kirtan should not lead us away from the pull towards the innermost reality. If there was a doubt about the meaning of the Naradiya Bhakti, whether it is Asmin or Kasmin, here by quoting Shandilya, Narada has clarified it. Atmaratira Virodena, pull towards one's own real self. It should not be opposite to that. Now, Narada has reserved his own view on that matter. And now he gives a comprehensive definition, comprehensive description of the Lakshanas. He is not contradicting those, but he says all that will be included. Vijadishu Anuraga, Kathadishu, Atmarati Ravirodena, all will be included in the definition which is being given by me. So we read the 19th Sutra now. Narada's Tu. Tu appears again. And Tu does not contradict the previous, but makes it comprehensive. Narada's Tu. Tadarpita Akhilacharata. Tad vismarane parama vyakulata. Now somebody has already put a question there. That what is acharata? I would first translate it as habit. Secondly, I would say nature. So, and then I will give the exact translation. The characteristics of. Having the characteristics of. This is the translation. Having the characteristics of this type of achara. Achara means behavior. Tad arpita akhila achara. Tad arpita. Dedicated to him. Him, I am using masculine because the English language will not permit me to use it. That means that he, she, it, whatever you like to call it. Our real nature has no gender. That is what I will tell you. It can be the better translation. Tadarpita, dedicated to that, all our actions, having the characteristics of dedicating or having dedicated all our actions to it. That is the full meaning. Now, what you will say, what is this? This is not something abstract, this is very concrete. I'll give an example to understand. Sri Ramakrishna's disciple, Swami Premananda, was, without any designation, he was the, in a way, manager of the Belur Math. And Swami Turiyananda, another disciple, was living in Kashi. And Turiyananji has come on a visit to Belur Math. And as we show some guests around our house or our establishment, Premananji is taking him here and there. And he says, here is a ground and we keep it absolutely clean because the Lord walks here and no thorn should prick him, no hard stone should prick him. So he keeps this ground absolutely clean for the Lord to walk. Then he takes him to the vegetable garden. We grow vegetables here for the offering of the Lord. Then he takes him to the fruit garden. We grow fruits here for being offered to the Lord. Then he takes him to the flower garden. Here we make our best attempt to grow the best flowers. All right, I continue now. So, because the flowers are to be offered to him, then he took them to the kitchen. Here we are cutting vegetables and cooking to be offered to the Lord. Like that it went on. Other than the temple shrine where we worship him, and here he sleeps. So when Turiyananji went back to Kashi, he wrote a letter from there. He said, we are read in the Ishopanishad that we should cover everything with God. But today I saw that day by my own eyes what it means. Now he said in a for Ishavasya, but I would say this fits in most best in Tadarpita Akhilacharata. Narad will later on give the example of the gopis. So I am not giving it here. We shall take it when Narada gives it. But to understand Tadarpita Akhilacharata, I have given the example of Swami Premananda. Anybody else who can think. Now, again, this is a poor translation, what I can do, think or feel is a better translation. I would say no in his knowledge, that whatever he is doing, is for the sake of the Lord. Even up to the extent, I wash my hands, I visit the toilet, I take bath. Why? For Him. I take food because I want to exist for Him. I love Him. Now, this is the definition of love, I will tell you. Parama Prema itself is being expressed. I live for Him. Whatever I do is for Him. I'm using the word Him. Whatever I do is for the love of the innermost reality. I'm learning Narad Bhakti Sutras. Why? For Him. I'm talking of Narad Bhakti Sutras. Why? For Him. So, the characteristics, the habits, the very nature of man has become that. That is why Acharata is mentioned. Not that he is dedicating every action to him from day to day. That has become his habit. That has become his nature. That has become the characteristics of the man. That whether breathing, it will go up to that. Whether breathing, sleeping, whatever he is doing is for him. Nothing is for me. So Narada says, now whether it includes Pujadishu, Katadishu or not, you see. If I'm talking for him. I would not talk any nonsense. Automatically this selection also will take place. In the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna we see Master Masha continuously describing Sri Ramakrishna talking of God. So, no, every time he is not talking of God as such, but the tatparya, the meaning, the conclusion of all this is for God. So, can we not make ourselves like that? Narada is now defining bhakti in a concrete way, though he has defined it already. That Parama Prema, that Nirodha. Now you see, Nirodha also he told us, Loka Vedeshu, Loka Vedat Adarpita. So same thing. Nothing remains with this I. I is there. I will go away. Because I itself has been dedicated to God. Whatever I possess, can we not make it? I will give a small example. Small, very small. From my own experience. Some friends of mine, students of mine, I was in Nagpur and they arranged a lecture in Varda. Now, it was decided, 4 people, I should take snacks here, night food there, sleep there, get up and go to another way. Like that, they had decided. Now I went to a place for sleeping. Now I had to take breakfast in some other place. But when we got up, the host offered me tea. I thought, okay, let us have tea. Then they offered me the simple Marathi ingredient called poha. What our upma they call it. Chide upma in Bengali. I thought, why we are going to take breakfast in the other place? But I said, for formality's sake, please reduce the quantity. Please reduce. I will eat a little. I am telling some mundane matters. I ate it. And a strong desire came to ask for more. I could not understand more. Why? Now the thing was made nicely, but it was not some supernatural making. Ordinarily nicely, thing was made. And I had to take breakfast in some other place. But a strong urge came to eat more. And I asked, can you give me more? They gave. I was puzzled myself why the strong urge has come. Now after that, before going out to wash our hands, I entered inside the room. Very small shrine, no shrine proper, in a glass case in the kitchen. Sri Ramakrishna Mother Swamiji's photo was there. And in front of that photo, tea and poha were offered to them. The whole thing flashed in my mind. Whole thing flashed in my mind because it has been given to them that I want to eat more, not for other things. Now a lot of discussion will come here. Some people say, without taking bath, we cannot offer anything to God. I say, okay, if you do like that, without taking bath, you take tea or poha or not? Why you will take it without offering to them? See, tremendous change happens. The whole scene changes, the mental scene changes. Eating breakfast and eating his prasad as breakfast has this much difference. I do not forget it. Long time back it was there. So, Tadarpita Akhilacharata. Even the act of eating breakfast or tea is dedicated to him. I have told you another incident in a little different context. Again, I am referring to the Nagpur ashram. Publication department grew by jumps in Swamiji's centenary time. So, new publication building had to be constructed on the other side of the road, different building. Now the old stock had to be transferred. It became like a project. And so many Swamis and others were working for that. And my Guruji was continuously asking anybody who goes to him, he would ask the progress. One Swami came and our Maharaj asked, what is the progress? He said, my work I have done. All this loving talk went away. And like a lion he shouted, your work? You have come here to do your work or Thakur's work? Now the Swami wanted to explain. Must be there is some manager, somebody has been allotted this much you do. So he wanted to explain that position. And he shifted language and said, what I mean is my teacher did not allow him to complete this sentence. What do you mean? You have come here to do your work or Thakur's work? You understand now. I am talking it for the benefit of all my brothers and all the public in general. What work we are doing in our house, what food we are cooking in our house. That day, one day I referred to that proofreading business, how Holy Mother taught my Guruji proofreading. So, every action, it becomes a habit, it becomes a mental nature of the mind. This becomes his characteristics. He cannot think of anything without thinking of God. He cannot do any action without thinking of God. Lord, it is for you. It is for you. I exist also for you. I breathe for you. I drink for you. I eat for you. I go to the extent of telling, I refresh myself for you. I answer calls of nature for you. That becomes the field with the mind. Narada says, if you want to see Lakshanas, this is the Lakshana. He does not say that Pujadisha Anurag is not the Lakshana, or Kathadisha is not the Lakshana, or that everything should not be Atmanati Avirodena. It's all right. All their Lakshanas in their own place. But Narada is telling his own name, these teachers or others have the habit of speaking in third person. So not that somebody else is telling, Narada is telling that, but Narada is telling, that means take it from me, Narada says, that the real Rakshana, the comprehensive Rakshana is, now we understand. Do we understand Parama Prema? Do we understand Nirodha? Do we understand no desire stands? Do we understand now that the Swarupa is the Advaita immortal bliss? Do we understand now by the Lakshana? So, Lakshana is very important. How this bhakti works in our life, that was very important to be told. And Narada does not reject. He told, the Lakshanani Vachante Nana Mataveda, and he quoted some Lakshanas for us to understand. But after that, after telling Chandilya's Atmaratira Avirodhena, it is now. Here too means now, but now I am telling you what my idea is. And my idea is it, every action of ours, the habit of the mind, we have the characteristics of offering everything which we have to God. That is the Lakshana. Now, this is the half sentence, other side. Tad vismarane parama vyakulata iti. A positive thing is tested by the negative counterpart. Whether your Akhila Acharya has been arpita to God, how will we know? Now, tad vismarane, saptami, in the condition of forgetting him, we'll say how he will forget him. He is not forgetting. But the intensity might have reduced. Our mind is there. He will become afraid that I may forget him. The mind becomes so sensitive that slightest lessening of the intensity makes him afraid I should not forget him. And for this, I am going to give the supreme example of Sri Ramakrishna himself. He is God himself, but he has become man for teaching us. Now, when he tried to have Mother's darshan or to know what reality is behind the stone, he entered Nirvikal Samadhi and he had the vision of the mother also. That is Avatar speciality, that doing sadhana he gets fruits first. Then he had more Vyakulata. If you read the Great Master, there is a chapter on his first vision and the next chapter is Vyakulata. Why he became Vyakul? He wants to have that very state of mind continuously. Knowledge when comes does not go at all. So he knows now what mother is, what is reality, everything is known. But that experience, that particular experience, he wants to continuously have. And then he used to become so vakul that he used to fall on the ground, rub his mouth against this dust or sand to such an extent that bleeding used to come from his lips. Mother, I want your continuous darshan. Mother, I don't want to forget you. He has not forgotten that. If a man forgets, he will not remember that he has forgotten. A man who has forgotten will not remember he has forgotten. But a man who has not forgotten, because of slight reduction in the intensity, he feels he has forgotten. And people could not understand it. People have seen such pain or such weeping on the case of colic. So they would gather round him and say, this man is suffering from terrible colic. Sri Ramakrishna said, he heard all this, but no response came with it. He simply is mad like for having the continuous vision. This is called Tad Vismarane Paramavyakulata. Till he became filled with the continuity of the vision, this went on. So we understand now what is Tad Vismarane. Like in our case, like in anybody's case. Now, in the morning, we get up and do and we try to meditate on him. And then during the day, we are busy in our work. Inside us, he is there, huh? But on the surface, at least we have forgotten him. And then we weep. We have seen bhaktas like that. Real bhaktas, they weep. Oh Lord, I spent time without you. So, Narada says, this is the comprehensive definition. Tad arpita akila charata side by side, tad vismarane. In the case of the possibility of vismaran, Parama Vyakulata. Parama means excessive, abnormal, if you like to say, too much of Vyakulata comes. Now, one question of asked of me some time back, today itself. Emotion, we are always dealing with emotion should not be there. And Thakur tells us, if we weep for God for 3 days, he has shortened it afterwards. He says, if you weep for God for 24 hours, you will see. Now, is this not emotion? Here, though I have clarified once, I can clarify it 100 times. Emotion is very different from feeling. And these bad days means we call it Kali Yuga or Iron Age, too much, this word emotion has become popular. Some years back, there was emotional integration of India. My Guru used to say emotion is biological. Now the question is how to understand it is emotion, not feeling, how to understand it is feeling or not emotion. So my Guruji has told a trick on that. He says in the beginning, you can assume that it is emotion only. You can assume what you are having is emotion and try to temper it, not control it. He says, try to temper it by philosophical reason and practical reason. Philosophical reason means we know only one philosophy. The world is unreal, God is real. Now try to control this emotion by that. And practical reason. That means what people will tell me, so and so, so and so, so and so is practical reason. Whether I'll be able to do my work. So through these two means try to temper that emotion. If it is emotion, it will go away. Emotion can be checked by philosophical reason or practical reason or both. But if it is feeling, it will not go away. That is the test. And feeling comes, my Guruji says, from the absolute tranquil heart. So, the Vyakulata and emotion are very much different. Emotion appears as Vyakulata. That in Sanskrit you call Udvega. Shallow mind becomes thrown out by this so-called Vyakulata. I gave the reply that Thakur has told us to weep for 24 hours. So we decide to weep. And after 10 minutes, we forget for what we are weeping. After 10 minutes, we forget to weep. Emotion has gone away. So that which will not go away is feeling. That is for our sake. That means how to understand. Actually, emotion is biological. Feeling proceeds from the absolute tranquil heart. And it is this feeling faculty which you are dealing in Narad Bhakti Sutra. I refer here to some other question posed here. Somebody has asked me, please explain Manan Nididhyasan. What is Nididhyasan? My friend, that is a topic of Jnana Yoga, not of Narad Bhakti Sutra. Shuddha Jnan, Shuddha Bhakti ek, but not the process of knowledge. Process of knowledge is very much different than the process of bhakti. Knowledge proceeds with analysis. Knowledge proceeds with vairagyam. Knowledge proceeds with the knowledge that the world is unreal and the God is real. That I won't describe now because that is an irrelevant topic here. For that sake, we require Manan and Nididhyasan. Here the topic of Manan will come much later. Narada will tell something about Manan. We shall see when it comes, not in this context. Process of bhakti is through feeling love for God. feeling a pull inside. Do you apply reason there? When you are feeling a pull inside, what reason can you apply there? Actually, Narada will tell us later on that God of the Bhakta is Swayam Praman. It does not require any proof. That I feel love for God is a Praman that God exists. How should I feel love for God which does not exist? Your psychoanalyst and modern physics and modern science will say hallucination, subjective, mad lie, because they do not know it. So they are calling it mad. I told you, there is a big difference between abnormal and subnormal. Anything not normal, we have a habit of calling it abnormal. Do you know abnormal means above normal? And what we call abnormal today is subnormal. So subnormal things are nowhere in the picture. A man is perfectly normal. God is pulling him and he becomes above normal. We discussed it that day when we say, Yad Gyatva Uman, Yad Gyatva Matto Bhavati, Sabdo Bhavati, Atmarama Bhavati. There we discussed. For Thakur, it was common to say Jnanonmad, Premonmad appears like inebriation by wife, and it is diametrically opposite to that. So, please excuse me, Manan Nididasana I am not going to discuss here because we are dealing with Narad Bhakti Sutras. If God wills, if we sometimes take classes on some Upanishads, we will talk of Manan and Nididasana. So, there is a feeling, what you can do. Emotion is very temporary, emotion is biological, emotion is on the surface, it can be checked. Feeling comes such a depth of heart. I will tell some of my experience here. Long back, Revered Swami Prabhananji was the secretary of the Institute of Culture in Calcutta. He had invited me for a lecture, Real Challenges Before Vedanta Today, some other lecture. And the president was a professor of Nyaya philosophy, the dry logician. Anyway, after my lecture, in his presidential remark, he said, the speaker was emotional at times. And then he said, emotion, however good, can never replace solid reason. Now, I had no chance to reply to him because it was his presidential address. But Revered Prabhananji told me, please make an article, paper out of it. So I had written in two parts. It has come in the Bulletin of the Institute of Culture in January, February 2002. In that, I said, we have heard it said that emotion, however good, cannot replace solid reason. And we know reason, however solid it appears, can never replace experience of man. And feeling is nearer to experience than reason. And we clearly know the difference between emotion and feeling. So it is not emotionalism. And I quoted, I remember, Swami Vivekananda there. Swami Vivekananda says, knowledge, jnanam and bhava were running two parallel lines. And where they met, then Upanishads came. That is what Swamiji has told us. Where the jnana and the bhava met, the two currents, then only we got the Upanishads. So, experience, feeling in the deepest heart is much nearer to experience than this fellow called reason. Reason is only in the tarka. Reason can never reach the reality. But reality is pulling us. And in a pure mind, that pull is felt and is dragged in. Now, how to understand this pull? For this, Narada has given this example. Tadarpita kilacharata, tad vismarane parama vyakulata. In an humble way, I have described several incidents, trying to tell you how this Arpita Acharata changes the whole life, changes the whole mentality, changes the whole idea of man. Now, we are asking a question to Narada. When he told Pujadishu Anuraga, we did not ask any question. When he said Kathadishu, we did not ask any question. When it quoted Chandile to say Atmaritir Avirodhena, we did not ask any question. But the definition given by Narada, we ask question. It appears so strange to us. We are asking Narada, does anybody do like that? Is it possible that every moment we are thinking of God? Is it possible that every action, as I described to you now, sleeping, waking, eating, everything can be dedicated to God? Can such thing happen? Can a man become mad like Vyakul by just little forgetfulness? So Narada is replying in the Sutra 20. Asti evam evam. Very important sutra. Asti, yes, there are examples. Evam evam, like this, like this. Many examples exist, many. Now, from the proportion of the world population, there will not be many. But it is not a strange thing, he says. All the bhaktas are not in our front. In their own way, they are dedicated to God. So, I will tell you the importance of the sutra when we go to the next sutra. Here it is assertion first in reply to our question whether such things do exist. He said, yes, they exist. They very much exist. Asti evam evam. That means you can get lot of examples. Yes, these things do exist. Now, if these things do exist, I deliberately did not take the gopis because Narada is going to give now. And I tried to give several examples. Narada is telling now, Yatha Vraja Gopika Na. The brightest, we are asking Narada now again, if there are many examples, please quote some example at least which we know. Please give us some example at least. One particular example, he says Yatha Vraja Gopika Na. Now see the arrangement of the sutras. Huh? If he tells Vraja Gopika Nam first, we'll say, Samjaya said, if single example appears, we take it as strange, abnormal and throw it away. So first he has told several examples exist. Asti evam evam. Now for the brightest example, he is giving Gopi's example. Yatha Vraja Gopika Na. Vraja, you know what is Vraja? Meaning of the word Vraja, do you know? One meaning is walking place. The other meaning is land for the sake of cows to graze upon. That is Vraja. It may not be very fertile growing so many crops, but it is not barren also. It is growing grass enough for the animals. Now what we call Vrindavan is included, Mathura is included, Gokul is included, Barsana is included. So around Vrindavan we will see a large tract of this type that is called Vraja. And the gopis were from different villages of that Vraja. Radha was from Barsana. So that area itself is called Vraja. And there were cowherds because cows were plenty in that area and so the main occupation of the people there was keeping cows. So majority of the population is keeping cows and their wives are called gopikas. Their daughters also are called gopikas. So the daughters and wives of the Vraja people, he said, Narada says, that is the brightest example of Tadarpita Akilacharata and Tad Vismarane Paramavyakulata. Now, Narada is aware of one thing. This Gopi thing has been grossly misunderstood in the world by two parties. Those who want to criticize him, those who want to criticize Hinduism, those who want to criticize Krishna, those who want to criticize the Gopis, they have misunderstood it deliberately. And those who call themselves followers of Krishna also have misunderstood it. And all sorts of nonsense has become attached to it. So long as, so much so that the modern, cultured, civilized people do not want to hear about the Gopis. Swami Vivekananda, after coming back from America, has given a series of lectures in Chennai. One of the lectures is called Sages of India. He talks of Krishna there. First he talks of Gopis and Krishna. And then he says, now coming to a lower level, I will talk of Krishna of the Gita. So Krishna of the Gopis, and he has said again and again, unless you are very pure in the mind, you can never understand what this stands for. And those who have usual lust, they can never understand this. Now, physical facts, if you understand, Krishna was only 12 years of age when he left Vraja forever, when he left Vrindavan forever and went to Mathura. Anyway, so you understand? Narada knows it well, that when he takes the name of Gopis, we shall immediately jump and misunderstand. So he says, Tatrapi, even in the case of Gopis, no, Mahatma Jnana Vismriti Apavada. Apada here means blemish, not exception. Apada has so many meanings. Apada here means blemish, fault, sin, whatever you like to call it. No, it does not exist. What type of blemish does not exist? Mahatma Jnana Vismriti. Mahatma means Shri Krishna's greatness. Greatness not in the sense he was a big man. His nature. His nature is called his Mahatma. He is the reality transcendent immanent. This is called his nature. This is called his Mahatma. Vismruti. Mahatma Jnana Vismruti. The forgetfulness is not forgetfulness of God. Forgetfulness of the knowledge of the nature of Shri Krishna or his Mahatma, the real nature of Shri Krishna. The forgetfulness is a blemish. It was not there in the Gopis. How to understand this? One day I quoted a shloka. Now I will tell the whole context and tell the shloka. Gopis were mad after Shri Krishna. Mad, that is the only word which you can use. And one day, Bhagavan told them, one day I will give you free joy without any bounds. On the Kartik Purnima day, because that is the cleanest sky, cleanest weather, and full moon. On the Kartik Purnima day, which we usually call as Ras Purnima, in the night, Sri Krishna went to the banks of the Yamuna and played his flute there. Now, Gopi's condition, night, somebody was sleeping with the husbands, somebody was breastfeeding the children, somebody was serving the elders, but any Gopi anywhere in Vraja, anywhere, hearing that flute, like a mad person, they got up and started running to the river. And while going there, or having reached there, you may say, the subtlest form of ahankara came to them. Subtlest form is not that we are great. How lucky we are that Bhagwan loves us. No, we are lucky. This is called the subtlest ahankara. And you cannot get God if this ahankara exists. That is Parama Prem. I will quote here in Hindi one couplet from Kabir, if you can understand that. प्रेम गली अति साकरी दूजो ना ही समाय आप हैं तो हरि नहीं हरि हैं तो नहीं आप. Gali, the lane of love is very, very narrow. It cannot contain two people. If you are there, God is not there. If God is there, you are not there. So, this much subtle ahankar, Shri Krishna thought, then how I will give them joy? How they will reach fulfillment of their life? So what he did? He vanished. He vanished from there. Now, how much anguish gopis would have felt at that point. They have left their husbands. They have left their house in the midnight and gone out of madness to meet Shri Krishna, and he has vanished. Now, in the agony of their heart, they start weeping or singing, whatever you like to call. Shukadeva calls it Rurudu Suswaram Raja. They are weeping in good musical tones. Why I am describing all this is, under such conditions, can anybody fake something? Can anybody pretend to be something? Or the innermost feeling of the heart will come out? For that I described this scene. And that lamentation of the gopis is in the 30th chapter, I believe, of the Dashama Skanda of the Bhagavata. And the name of the chapter is Gopi Gita. Our gospel, Master Maharaj has taken a shloka from there also, Tavakathamritam. In that there is a shloka, which I told you sometime. Now in this context I am telling you. Take down please. Nakhalu gopika nandano bhavan. Nakhalu gopika nandano bhavan. Akhila dehinam antaratmadrik. Akhila dehinam antaratmadrik. Vikhanasarthito Vishwaguptaye. Vikhanasarthito Vishwaguptaye. Sakha Udayivan Sattvatam Kule. We know well that you are not the son of a gopi. You are not a human being, we know. What you are? A person lives in the body. Body is there. The person living in the body is called Dehi. But inside that Dehi, the innermost reality of that Dehi, the innermost witness of every action of that Dehi, that you are. And Akhila Dehinam, Akhila means without exception, of all the Dehis, whether they are spiritual, religious, worldly or whatever they are, every thought, action and feeling of the Dehis, Antaratma, innermost reality and truth, that means witness, Sakshi, of every thought, feeling, word, deed of every person in the world, is that you are. So why I told this in detail is, in such a lamenting situation, can the gopis make a hypocrisy? Can they tell something which is not in their mind? The innermost core of the mind gets out in such a pitiable condition. Then why you are being seen as a man? Vikhanasa means Brahma. Vikhanasa arthito, prayed by Brahma. Vishwaguptaye, for the protection of the world. Sakha, dear one, darling, Udayevan, you arose, you were born, you took a body. Sattvatam Kule. Sattvatam, that is the Kula in which Sri Krishna is born. So Sattvatam Kule, you appear as a man because Brahma prayed to you to protect the world, but you are not a man. Now, I remember here, this was one of the pet shlokas of my Guruji. Again and again he used to chant this. न खलु गोपिकानंदनो भवान अखिल देहि नाम अंतरात्मदरि विघ्न सार्थितो विश्वगुप्तये सख उदयवान सात्वताम कुले. Narada is referring to this. I told you Narad Bhakti Sutras are mostly based upon the Bhagavad Gita. If not, then on Bhagavatam. So from Bhagavatam, this episode, Narada is referring to what the gopis knew. Na tatrapi mahatma jnana vismriti apavada. In gopis case, don't jump upon your own subjective conclusions. There is no blemish of forgetting the nature of his glory. Mahatma you can take as glory. Glory of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, that was never there. How do we know? Again we ask him. Tadvihinam jaranam eva. If the Mahatma Gyan Vismruti was there, now reverse it is going, negative. Mahatma Jnana Vismruti Apavada was not there. If this condition was not there, Tadvihinam. That means if Mahatma Gyan was not there, Tadvihinam Jaranam eva. You know jar in Sanskrit, in Hindi and many Indian languages, yar. That is jar. Paramour. A man being loved outside your marriage wedlock is called jar. So if this Mahatma Gyan was not there, it would have been like gopis loving another person out of their wedlock. It was not so. Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself, to bring out their inner feeling, asked them afterwards when they reappeared and all that, how you have come to Parapurusha? How you have come to a man other than your husbands? Their reply was, we have not come to any Parapurusha. We have come to the Paramapurusha. The Paramapurusha, the reality of the whole world, I have described Purusha to him several times. Purushayanat Purnatvatva, who fills the whole world and is perfect in himself, we have come to Paramapurusha, we have not come to any Parapurusha. So, if this was not there, it would have been simply a love of a woman loving some person outside the wedlock by physical attraction. If Mahatma Gyan was not there, how to understand that was not there? How to understand it is not like jar? So again Narada tells another sentence. Nasti eva tasmin tat sukha sukhitvam. Tasmin means the love for a paramour does not contain tat sukha sukhitvam, happiness in the happiness of the beloved. Why Jaranam is there? For your own happiness. Jaranam attraction is for your own pleasure. But the love towards the Supreme Being does not contains tat sukha sukhitva. Pleasure in the pleasure of the Lord. This is the biggest thing in bhakti. Now that very incident I will continue. Which one? Gopis were weeping. And first they were weeping, oh, where you have left us, where you have gone. Then they remembered something and their weeping was changed. Weeping was there, but different weeping. We used to protect you. Even your tender feet, we used to so carefully keep on our breast. And with those feet, you are gone to the forest. Are they not being pricked by stones? Are they not being pricked by thorns? We are completely mad to think of that. This is Tat Sukha Sukhitvam. Tat Sukha Sukhitvam always will contain Tat Dukha Dukhitvam. So your pleasure, we have come here for your pleasure, not for our pleasure. And you have gone away. And you are walking in that forest which has stones, which has thorns. And we used to keep your feet on our breast, they are telling very, very tenderly. And you have gone such a place. Then what happened as a result? You know, the gopis themselves became Krishna. The identity was fully released there. And the gopis are telling each other, I am Krishna, come. Now what we will do by hiding? What is the use of hiding now? So, Tasam Havir Bhutshauri Swayamana Mukhambuja Pitambara Sragvi Sakshat Manmata. So he reappeared before them. You see the whole story. And when he reappeared before them, I am flowing in that story. They gathered round him and showed their anger. Or, what are you? What is your type of love? Then he said, there are three types of love in the world. One is for your pleasure, you are loving somebody. One is there is give and take. You make me happy, I will make you happy. The third is the mother's love, most unselfish, where you only give, not ask. He is describing the types of love in the world. We will expect now which of this is your type. He says, my type is different than all these three. These are the loves in the world. My love is very different from all these three. What is that? I will give trouble to those who love me. Are you ready? My love, I will give trouble to those who love me. I will give pain to them so that they become free from their impurities. Prashamaya Prasadaya, when he vanished, there itself Shukadeva says, ultimately to grace them, but at that time to control their ego. Prashamaya means to control their ego, Prasadaya, ultimately to grace them. Tatreva Antaradaya, they disappeared. So, you understand now? Be prepared for this. Don't complain. We are loving him and he is giving us trouble. That is the nature of it. Let me tell some stories here, funny stories. Told by Sri Ramakrishna in the Gospel. Now, Bhagavan Sri Krishna and Arjuna, they are just going out walk. A very rich man sees them and he invites them to his house. Very big house, and he offers them some sweets, etc. While coming out, Bhagavan says, may your property increase. Then another man in a hut invites them. There is a cow there. There is no other belonging there. And he takes the milk out of that cow and offers to them. Bhagavan takes it. And while going out, he says, let your cow die. Arjuna says, Bhagavan, you have been deluded. And that rich man, what he gives? Bhagavan says, you have not understood me. That rich man wants property, so let him have. But this man has 99% of his mind in me. He required at one time this cow. Now, if the cow has become a distraction to him, if the cow is not there, his mind will come to me 10%. So I said, let the cow there. This is God's love. Before ending, I will tell you a funny story. My own mathematics, huh? Some people say we cannot have 10% bhakti. Okay, how much you will have? 80%. Now, in this Bhakti examination, nobody passes with 33 or 35% mark. We require 100% to pass. And nobody gets 100%. We got 80%. Then 20% grace marks. Suppose you get only 20%, 80% grace mark. That is how we pass. Om Jayati Jagati Mayam Yasya Kaya Dhavaste Vachana Rachana Mekam Kevalam Chakalaya Dhruvapadam Api Yato Yat Krupato Dhruvoyam Sakala Tuchala Patram Brahmaputram Natosmi Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanam.